He said that crushing his girlfriend's baby made him feel better. The tragic case of 1-year-old baby Scarlet, trigger warning. So Scarlet's mother, named Tara, had been dating a 25-year-old man named Daniel Ruiz, and the pair had only been together for a short time when he started babysitting her daughter Scarlet. But what Tara didn't know was a storm was brewing, a bad one, and her daughter's life was now in danger because her boyfriend had serious anger issues and he was about to do the unthinkable just to get back at her. On August 28, 2013, Daniel Ruiz came home from work where Tara and a friend told him they needed him to babysit their 2 children while they ran to the store to get milk and that they wouldn't be gone long. So Daniel agreed and the 2 women left the house, leaving 1-year-old Scarlet and the friend's young child home alone with Daniel. The 2 women returned about 45 minutes later, and before they could even get in the door, Daniel came running outside of the house screaming, "She's having a seizure, she's having a seizure." Tara ran inside the home and found her daughter laying on the floor, and she quickly realized her daughter's life was hanging in the balance. Now, Tara was unable to contact 911 for whatever reason, so she scooped baby Scarlet up in her arms and ran across the street to a fire station, and they were able to get Scarlet to a hospital where she died a short time later. 2 days later, Scarlet's autopsy was conducted, and that was where the medical examiner found the horrific truth. Baby Scarlet had too many injuries to count because her body had been crushed, literally. Her injuries were so bad that they were consistent with a high-speed car crash or her being thrown from a rooftop landing on concrete. Initially, Daniel told the police he didn't know what happened to baby Scarlet. He claimed he was watching TV while she was laying on the floor, and then all of a sudden, she just started seizing and gasping for air. But later in the day, Daniel finally confessed to the police that he had brutally murdered baby Scarlet. Trigger warning, we're going to talk about Scarlet's murder. Daniel said when he came home from work, Tara and her friend wanted him to babysit their 2 small children, so he agreed. And once the 2 women left the house, he became very angry, and that was where he seen baby Scarlet laying on the floor in front of the TV. So Daniel, who is 240 pounds, walks over to baby Scarlet and puts his left foot on her chest and begins stepping down with all of his weight as hard as he can, crushing her into the floor. He said he kept pressing his foot with all of his weight down onto her chest and that he could hear her gasping for air. Afterwards, he reached over her and began flipping the channels on the TV, trying to find himself a show to watch. Daniel said after stomping her, he actually felt better, like some kind of stress had been released, and that while watching TV, he could hear her gasping for air while fighting for her life, and he did nothing to save her. He said he felt justified in doing this, like it was somehow Scarlet's fault. Daniel claimed the women dumping their kids off on him had become a bit of a routine and he felt taken advantage of, and that was why he took his frustration out on baby Scarlet. But that's no excuse. He could have said, "No, I'm not babysitting your child. I just got off work. I'm tired. You're taking your baby with you." But he didn't do that. I think this attack was premeditated because he waited until after her mom left to attack her. She wasn't fussy or crying. He didn't hurt the other child. I think he was just jealous of Scarlet. So Daniel was arrested and charged for Scarlet's murder, and the community came together to remember her. So by November of 2015, Daniel was found guilty of second-degree murder and assault on a child causing death, and later in January, he was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Scarlet's story should be a wake-up call for every parent, caregiver, or guardian. You can't just leave your children with anyone. Parents, you gotta stop playing house with these monsters. I don't care how long you've been dating. You don't know what's going through their mind or what they're capable of. Stop leaving your children alone with them. Now, I know a lot of children are unalived by their own biological parents, but even more children are unalived by non-biological people like boyfriend, girlfriend, stepmom, stepdad. It happens more than you think. This usually happens because that person is either jealous of the child or jealous of the other parent or the attention that child is getting, or because they don't have a bond or a relationship with that child. You got to pay attention to the red flags. They're almost always there. Whether it's a facial expression, a comment, or a physical hit, these people will show you how they feel, and then you have to protect your kids when you see those warning signs. And we need new laws that not only hold the killer accountable, but the neglectful parent too, because too many parents are leaving their children with people they barely know or have just started dating. It needs to stop. Now let's take a moment to remember 1-year-old baby Scarlet. I just want to start off by saying she's the cutest little baby. I love that little crinkle in her nose when she smiles. This picture was taken just 2 months before she died. Look how pretty she is. Scarlet's family said she was always such a happy baby, always smiling. She was content. She loved to watch TV and play with other children. Rest in love, baby Scarlet. You deserve so much better.